All right, let's talk about a total game changer in the world of productivity. Brian Tracy's amazing book, Eat That Frog. Today, we're going to break down his super practical, no fluff methods for finally beating procrastination and, actually getting the important stuff done. So, yeah, let's get right into it. You know that feeling, right? You are just completely swamped. You've got work, you've got home stuff, emails are piling up, new projects are landing on your desk. And just when you think you're making progress, a whole new wave of tasks comes rolling in. It's a feeling pretty much all of us are familiar with. Now, what's so wild about Tracy's whole approach is that he starts by telling you to give up. Yeah, you heard me. He says to forget about ever being caught up. The secret isn't to work harder or faster on everything. Nope. It's about completely shifting how you think about your work in the first place. And that brings us to the absolute core idea of the book. It's this simple, kind of weird, but brilliant metaphor that is really the key to unlocking your own productivity. He calls it the Eat That Frog philosophy. So what in the world is a frog? Well, your frog is that one critical task on your list. It's the big one, the important one. And let's be honest, it's probably the one you really, really don't want to do. But here's the thing. It's also the task that's going to have the biggest positive impact. The rule is just so simple. If you have to eat a live frog, you might as well do it first thing in the morning. That way, you go through your whole day knowing the absolute worst is behind you. The book actually has 21 of these powerful principles, but to get you started, we're going to focus on 3 of the most transformative ones. Think of these as your foundational toolkit for finding and tackling your biggest, ugliest frogs, day in and day out. The first key is so simple, it's almost deceptive, but it is massively effective. Think on paper. A huge reason we procrastinate is because we're just not clear on what to do next. When you take just a few minutes to plan your day ahead of time, it gives you this incredible clarity, a real track to run on. And get this, the payoff for that little bit of effort is insane. Tracy calls it the 10-90 rule. Spending just 10% of your time up front planning your work can save you up to 90% of the time when you actually do it. So let's put that in perspective. 10 or 12 minutes of planning at night could save you almost 2 hours of wasted time the next day. I mean, that's just a phenomenal return on your investment. All right, next up is a classic you've probably heard of, the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. But this isn't just some boring business concept. It's a powerful tool for life that forces you to focus on what really matters, on the frogs, not all the little tadpoles swimming around them. The idea is that a vital few of your activities, about 20% of them, will account for 80% of your results. Just think about that for a second. If you have 10 things on your to-do list, 2 of them will be more valuable than the other 8 put together. The most successful people get this. They fight that natural urge to work on the easy, trivial stuff, and instead pour their energy into that vital few. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, if you're on a project, your frog is writing that core strategy document, not just endlessly tidying up your digital files. If you're in sales, it's calling your top 5 prospects, not getting stuck in your inbox answering routine emails. And if you're studying, it means tackling the most difficult concepts head-on, not just reorganizing your notes to feel productive. You have to resist that temptation to clear up the small things first. Okay, our third key strategy is the simple but incredibly powerful daily technique for being absolutely ruthless with your priorities. It's called the ABCD method, and it takes your to-do list and sorts it by what's truly important. Here's how it works. Your A tasks are your frogs. They're the must-dos, the ones with serious consequences if you don't do them. Your B tasks are the should-dos. Those are your tadpoles with only mild consequences. C is something that's nice to do, D is for things you can delegate, and E is for stuff you can just eliminate altogether. But here's the most important rule of all. Never, ever, ever do a B task when you have an A task still sitting there. Okay, so the theory is great, but how do you actually make this stuff happen? Because the key to all of this is action, right? So let's build out a simple, actionable plan you can start using tonight to build that keystone habit of daily planning. And getting started is really this straightforward. See how you build the habit up piece by piece. You start simple. Tonight, just plan tomorrow. That's it. Then, the next day, you layer on the ABCDE method. By Wednesday, you're ready to pick out your number 1 most important A1 frog. It's a simple progression that, by the end of just 1 week, can build the foundation for a habit that could completely change your entire career. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but does it really work? Well, the best proof I can give you comes from the author himself. Brian Tracy's own life story is just a powerful testament to how well these principles work in the real world. I mean, Tracy didn't exactly start with a lot of advantages. He worked laboring jobs, got into sales, and was struggling until he did something that changed everything. He just started asking the successful salespeople what they did differently, and then he did the same things. By just modeling what already worked, he became a top salesman in a year and a vice president by the time he was 25. He didn't have to reinvent the wheel. He just had to apply what was proven to work. And look, the 3 strategies we covered, they're just the beginning. The book is an absolute treasure trove of 21 methods, from things like identifying what's holding you back, to developing a sense of urgency, and learning how to focus on one task until it's 100% done. But in the end, it all comes back to this one idea. You can read and learn all day long, but the real change, the real magic, happens when you take action. These principles aren't just theories, they create fast, predictable improvements, but only if you actually apply them. So I'll leave you with a question to put all this into practice right now. Think about your list for tomorrow. What is that one task, the one that's most important, and also the one you're most likely to put off? Find it, identify it right now, and then make a commitment to yourself that tomorrow morning, that's the frog you're going to eat first.